Welcome back to Necromunda Monday, the series in which I tackle making models for Games Workshop's Necromunda that do not have official models. If you're interested in what models we've made previously in the series, check out the playlist on the channel. It has all the episodes in one place for your viewing pleasure. Now, with that being said, let's sharpen our blades, spill some paint, and regret some dice rolls, and let's get into today's episode. This week's episode and next week's episode will be slightly shorter than the normal episodes in this series. This is mainly due to me being on holiday for 2 weeks and only having a limited time to prepare these episodes. On top of this, I have been spending a lot of time preparing episode 5, as this is a special episode and involves a crossover with another channel. So today, we're going to be working on the Tech Merchant. The Tech Merchant is one of 4 merchants hireable by any gang in Necromunda, regardless of their gang affiliation. Oddly, the Tech Merchant is the only one of the 4 models not to have an official Games Workshop model, and the other 3 actually come together in the same pack. So let's have a look at the Tech Merchant's stats, because that's all we have for this model. This is the part of the episode normally where I would talk about the stat block for the specific model that we are making, and point out key elements on the stat block that will aid in the specific design aspects that we'll be using to make these models. However, I believe that the Necromunda design team have specifically left these out on this stat block, as this is a hanger-on that can be hired by any gang, regardless of its affiliation, does not require any specific design elements to lend itself to one of the gangs over the other. Now, this means that you could do virtually anything for this model. So today, I am going to create my own version, and I am specifically going to lean towards the equipment that the model has, as well as its focus on tech, and specifically in Necromunda. This tech usually comes from the black market and is usually more powerful equipment that your character can have. So with that being said, let's get into making the model. This model will be fairly straightforward to build. It uses mostly parts from the Skitari Marshal kit. We will be taking the Marshal's arm and grafting it with this Sanctifier kit's plasma gun arm. We will use the backpack from another Skitari kit. We'll also use these 2 servo skulls. You can use any servo skulls you want. Then we will deck the model out with these techie bits like this one here. I will be using this head as it has a techie body glove style hood. So let's get started. We'll take away the other parts and let's focus on the body to begin with. Now that the other parts are out of the way, for the body it is really just as simple as following the intended instructions. Once done, you should have a finished body like so. Now that it is built up, we'll set it aside for the time being and move on to the next part, which will be the arms. We're going to graft these 2 arms together. To do this, we're simply going to make a cut in the plasma gun arm here and follow it around the rest of the way above the wrist. I am going to try and keep this rope intact. However, you could always not bother and just cut the rope off to make life easier for yourself. This bit will obviously tuck under the arm in the finished model. When it comes to the Marshal arm, I'm simply just going to make an incision above the wrist, right here as follows. Now I'm going to take these away, make the cuts and glue it together, and I will come back. After doing this, you can now see the final result of the arm here. What we're going to do next is go ahead and glue this arm onto the body. As we have used the upper portion of the Marshal's arm, this should be really straightforward to do. This is how it should look after you've glued the arm on. As you can see, the graft is almost invisible. Now, we'll move on to the back of the model. I'll go get the parts and we'll get started. We will take away the body to begin with, just so that we can look at the parts, beginning with the backpack. I'm just going to build the backpack as well as these servo skulls up, following any instructions that are required to build these parts. Now you can see me laying out the parts once they have been built. There's a few adjustments that we'll have to make to the parts, including cutting off this dangly bit here, as it will get in the way of the backpack, We will also have to glue these servo skulls onto the backpack wherever they fit nicely. I'm going to take these away, build these up, and once it is built, I will come back and I will show you what the backpack should look like. Now that I have the backpack fully glued up, you can see how it looks, and all that's left to do is to simply glue it onto the back of the model. The good thing about the Skitarii kit is that all the backpacks fit regardless of the model. Once it is done, then you'll be left with something like this. Now, all we have to do is attach the head, because we can't have a merchant with no head. Where else would we put a bucket to be able to steal all of his stock? I'm going to take it away, let's glue the head together, and with the head now attached, that's the model basically done. All that's left is to glue on any other techie bits that you wish to glue to the model, and let's get some close-ups. As normal, as I talk, there will be a high-res photo of the model we've created today in the background, and I just obviously want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for watching the episode, remind you to like, subscribe, share with any Necromunda fans you may know, and I look forward to seeing you all next week on Necromunda Monday. Goodbye for now.